attention to the passport bros, like they're getting women from like the DR, Colombia, the Philippines, Thailand, like women that can speak very little English, women that don't have education, women that
need them. Women that need them. Women are raised to be wives. They learn everything from birth, from their father, from their mother, how to be a wife and how to support your man.
Women that need them.
It's not even women that need them. It's women that treat them with respect.
So we don't.
Y'all know y'all don't.
Passport bros. Now, whether you love them or you hate them, the one thing that you absolutely cannot deny is that they've had a major impact on men in the West. And how do I know this? Well, a member of the Passport Bros community recently went viral after being ousted out of Brazil after making comments regarding Brazilian women and then receiving death threats.
And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. Is in your travel itinerary? It's one of the travel goals for a community called the Passport Bros, meaning brothers. It's a traveling community of upwardly mobile black men. Some are accused of going around the world searching for a more traditional and submissive wife. But is it all about sex and just a girlfriend for hire and then return home to humiliate black women in America? That's the controversy that we're dealing with. One of its members, Austin Holman, is apologizing for comments that he made about Brazilian women. Take a listen.
What I meant by when I said that Brazilian women are easy, and I shouldn't use the word easy. I know that now. I'm sorry. But what I'm saying is, for a man that's well-mannered, well-dressed, that has put in the effort to raise himself, he will have an easier time in Brazil as opposed to where I was from. That wasn't always the case.
So long story short, this brother made a video that he says that the comments were taken out of context. Those comments got out in front of a Brazilian feminist who then took those comments and made it a nationwide discussion. And because Brazil was painted in such a negative light, that's when he had the smoke coming for him. And this smoke prompted him to leave the place that he was living to flee to Thailand. Now, truth be told, I don't have the particular clip. My internet searches shows that it has been scrubbed from the internet, so I can't comment on it exactly. But within the same news clip that I just showed you, Fox, who apparently is now anti-man, or at least Fox Soul, or wherever the hell that this shit was from, brought on two cackling, lovely young ladies to describe how they thought about the situation as well as the Passport Bros.
When you think about and what you've heard about Passport Bros, your opinion on this so-called group.
Let me tell you, they weren't even on my radar. You brought it up to me, and then I saw it, and I was just like, oh, that's cute. You know, guys go and get their passports. My son just got his passport last week. He's 9, so that's cool. Passport brothers, that's what's up. Then I started doing the research, and I'm like, wait a minute. Because I grew up, you know, with 2-parent household. My parents still happily married. I grew up in love. Some people grew up in survival mode, and maybe they just in a whole nother dimension of trying to find love or trying to find easy situations and everything. But at the same time, it was like, why do you have to put down the thing that you don't like in front of everybody just to get the thing that you do want? I don't care. But
that being black women in America, putting them down for women who may be of color in another country.
Right, that want to be a little more
also submissive
to
them.
Exactly.
But also paid in many cases.
And that's what they covering up. And you can tell that by the way that, what's his name, Austin, was talking, because I saw the other videos of him going like, hey, you would have course with me tonight, right? And she's saying, yes. They about to really get a lick on him. That's what's really about to happen. Because I also saw some of the women from overseas saying, yeah, we're just trying to get a lick. You know, they also came out saying, we know these passport bros, they not new.
I think it's really, really sad. Like, I look at them and I almost want to pity them, but then I don't, because there's a level of ignorance that's deplorable. Go ahead and use that word today. I think that they are taking advantage, at least from what they project themselves to be as a group. They're taking advantage of gender gaps and economic opportunities that are not there in these other countries that are present for us in America, in the States, in Canada, in Scandinavia, all over the world, and not even thinking back to the history of why are women and people made to be so independent in this country today.
Some of them, not all of them, talk so badly about black women in America, saying you guys are too bossy, you're too much, you're not feminine enough for them.
I think that sounds a lot to me like insecurities and the inability to seek what you want with what you have, where you are. That's what I really think about that. It almost disgusts me and is borderline gaslighting to sit here and treat American women, American black women, and try to shut us down because we may be educated or have the ability to obtain certain finances and social status that we're not in other countries.
And you attract.
It's a shame.
What you put out there too.
It's a shame.
All right.
Like, don't put that on us. Yeah, don't put that on us.
I find it so hilarious that now that we have a framework for what sign language actually is, how easy it is now to just point it out and say, yep, there it goes again. So anyway, Fox happened to invite this original brother in question to come up and to conduct an interview. And I'm going to play for you guys snippets of his reaction because I think that he did a fantastic job.
Austin Holman said he had to end a trip in Brazil early after he was accused of being one of those guys who said Brazilian women are easy to get. We talked to him today.
So there's this whole movement that we've heard about called passport bros, individuals, usually upwardly mobile African-American men who leave the country, and they say they're looking for wives, different women than what they have or the choices that they have in the United States. And many people have taken offense to it, saying it's just a form of sex tourism. It's a form of human trafficking or trafficking. When you hear the term, do you consider yourself a passport brother? And what do you think about that so-called movement that we've been seeing as of late here in the United States?
I find it so interesting the way that he set up that question, because he set it up in a way to say there's men that's going over there for wives, but then people determine that it is S-tourism. Notice in the way that he set it up, he's completely removing the previous statement in lieu of kind of what the perception of it is. So let's see how he answers this.
I would consider myself, yes. Now, I do want to state this too. People have called me the leader. I've never claimed that. That's something that they said.
Why would they show the brother like this?
There's no official leader of that. I think it's just an identity of somebody that has they're traveling for that purpose, traveling to, meet new women.
Fox, y'all ain't ish. Y'all definitely showing us up there because right here, he looks like he just goes to countries to just slang. Yo, the media is so dirty. I swear for God.
A different culture and a better lifestyle. Those
but really quick, for those who may say this is just a form of prostitution, you're going to different countries to pay and to have sex with women. You're not truly having a relationship with them.
Some do.
That's not my reality because I moved there. So, if I'm not going back and forth. So if anybody's going to have a relationship, it would have been me. Now, there are some dudes that do travel back and forth. There are some people do fit into those categories that they claim, but I'm not here to say that's the majority. There are men that go down there just to sleep with women women do the same thing too. Women do sex tourism too. But there are men that are enjoying the difference of the culture and programming of women in a different country.
Do you think this
Notice the programming. As he's speaking, what is it that they do? They put on all of these other beautiful women to take your eyes off of the things that he's saying, which is a fantastic answer. You see what the media be doing? Like, it's so dirty. What the brother said. Some men go do that, but that's not what I'm there for. I was actually living there, right? If you listen to his words and actually break down the things that he's saying, this doesn't sound like a brother who's taking the wealth that he has generated within the States and going to these countries and finding these weak, feeble-minded women to just seed the earth with. You understand? But let's keep going.
It gives the movement a bad name, the passport bros a bad name, if your sole purpose is for tourism and prostitution.
Yes, and on my YouTube channel, I actually tell dudes not to go down there to deal with prostitutes. Because you cannot complain about American women and then just go pay for some experience that she's getting paid. She's not, I'm not going to say it's not genuine, but I'm going to assume it's not genuine because if you didn't have the money, I don't think she'd treat you like that.
You're absolutely right. Now, one of the comments you made in your video, you said it's extremely hard to find. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack when it comes to a good American woman. So are you doing harm yourself when you make comments like that?
I say that based off of the qualities that I want. And my mother used to cook for me at twice a day when I was growing up. And I know American women would say, oh, you want a mother. Well, if that's how you look at it, so be it. You should have Uber Eats all your food then. But I want a woman that
He's
cooks.
good.
And the thing is, this is what a lot of people don't understand down here. As an American, 50 grand a year puts you in the top 1% of the world. So as an American, you go somewhere to another country, you have enough excess income to eat out 3 times a day in Brazil or Thailand or Colombia. You can eat out 3 times a day. So whoever my wife is, she's not even going to be cooking anyway. Because when I was in the States, I cooked for myself, but I have my money multiplied 5 times when I got to Brazil. So why would I stand in the kitchen and cook when I can just go downstairs and eat and somebody make it for me? So the whole
You do know, though, Austin, there are American women who will cook for you if you're deserving of that meal.
Yeah, obviously, but that's not his point. What he's saying is that through his interactions with his young eyes among westernized American modern-ass women, he doesn't see the same type of qualities as what he sees is when he goes abroad. But see, when he goes abroad, he doesn't see the masculine-ass attitudes. When he goes abroad, he's not indoctrinated within this, I need a corporate 6-foot-tall, 6-pack abs Tupac.
You know what type of man you have to be for a woman like us to allow you to lead?
Talk about that.
I just kept, I would bet my money we would succumb to it all for a man who could lead.
You're right.
I would bet money on the fact that I think if we were presented with the opportunity to be with a man who was just a man in every way, who just, it's nothing more than we want than to be comfortable in our own femininity. Our masculinity is a defense tactic.
Yep.
But the brother Austin also said something that was very important as well. Making $50,000 a year puts you in the top 1% in the entire world. And I'll never forget this when I went over to Thailand. It was me and a couple of my buddies. We was at a bar, met up with some young ladies, decided to go to the after hours spot. Let me tell you guys, we bought Popeyes for all of us. When I tell you that these girls absolutely lost their mind over Popeyes because it's not something that they can readily afford. And I remember thinking to myself how fortunate that we are in America that we can afford these things. But when you deal with a class or archetype of woman that thinks taking them out to Ruth Chris is the goddamn bare minimum for a first date, then what you have is a class of pure and utter entitlement. A class of women who will not accept dudes making $50,000 per year.
Well, okay, so that's the problem though. What is deserving?
Meaning you're a good husband. You bring home the bacon and they're bringing home the bacon together.
Chip!
It sounds good. It sounds good. I think at a young age I realized it wasn't like that anymore.
Did you give it a chance? And how old are you now?
23.
How old?
23.
23?
Yeah.
Man, you ain't giving no damn time.
I didn't need to. I gave it 2 or 3 years. And yeah, I went to Brazil one time and I didn't talk to anybody since I got back.
It's like going to a car dealership and you looking at your car, your dreams, but it's $100,000. But then you go to another dealership and the same car is costing like $30,000. You would go back to the first dealership and they'd be like, well, you should have waited. You should have gave it some time. Bitch, why? I could just go over there and buy it for a lot less. It's so crazy to me that we have uprisings of those such as Kevin Samuels or the uprisings of those such as the Passport Bros, but it's never a conversation of what are making these discussions occur, right? Like, why are men choosing to go abroad? Why is there a whole movement established because of that? No, it's shaming them out of their choice and decision to go somewhere, or it's calling the man that holds y'all accountable a tyrant and he doesn't know how to talk to women, and then praising him in his untimely demise. But if modern women today are enamored by the Ghost from Power aura, if they are continuing to be unwilling or uncooperative to bang with the average, decent, good, upstanding man in the West, then why be upset when that particular man, whether he's 23 or 103, take his talents elsewhere to find something a little bit more fit within his life? And instead, he's labeled a sex Taurus. And instead, he's labeled a weak man that cannot handle a woman. But instead, he's labeled an incel. But at the same junction, these same exact women are quiet as hell when this man is tied down by the bondage of the family court system, when the same man is tied down by the slavery of the child support system? Is there a potential for a component of these men to be going abroad just for tourism? Absolutely. But don't you dare put men into that same bucket who are taking a look at what's happening in the West and making a rational decision elsewhere. Questions, comments, concerns? Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. That brother was smooth to get up there at 23 years old to be able to defend his stance and his position like that. It's very impressive for him to be able to do that. I'll leave a link to the brother's channel down in the description box down below so you guys can go check out his travel journeys as well. All right? Until next time, you two. Peace!
You don't wanna see me get vexed. Boss on your phone, tell them man you can't jack. The big girl, the ones who can't stretch. Breaking the neck when we in the car next. You don't wanna see me get vexed. Boss on your phone, tell them man you can't jack. The big girl, the ones who can't stretch. Breaking the neck when we in the car next. That boss, need defibrillation ASAP. Get boxed with a straight guy. I'm reminded of mind state they lack. Every time that they incline, we go way back. All they wanna be is just ruthless. Never seen